Still processing. Oh, by the way, I'm recording the audio directly to my computer through Audacity, so that way I could upload. Well, I'll get you guys the audio episode a lot quicker.
I should turn my. Sorry, I need to turn my volume up as high as possible, right? Because you guys couldn't hear me.
No, we can hear you. It's just that there's also this weird ambiance that the mic is picking up.
So I should stay where I'm at? Because it was quiet. Like I was quiet on the last episode.
Just stick to the microphone because it could just be that you were backing off a little bit. Just stick in there or move the mic closer to your face so you don't have to lean forward.
You guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you not hear us?
No, I can't. I just when I what do you call it, muted the YouTube, I stopped hearing anything. So I thought I was overall muted. Anyway, sorry, I get annoyed with this technology.
You could tell. Excuse me.
It should be obvious.
It never is.
I just don't want it to be. I mean, I thought it was frustrating to listen to with the way my sound was, but.
Yeah, for sure. Your volume was low, so you were kind of straining or had to crank it up, and then everybody else was really loud.
Yeah.
Faux show.
Hi, BB and Quana.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Mahalo. Cheers. Get it on.
Hey.
It's going to be a good time.
I hope so.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about again?
UAPs.
Illegal aliens, I think.
Oh, yeah.
The border crisis we're going to talk about.
No, we're going to talk about the good aliens.
Oh, the good ones.
The good ones.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
You all set?
I am all set. Whenever you guys are ready, we can get going. So yeah, we'll do an intro. Rob, you can hit the social media stuff, and we can do a little UFO talk and into our favorite alien-based movies.
Yeah, let me get that social media stuff right now. Crap. Okay, got it.
Cool.
Yeah, we figure Instagram, Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
I got a couple of different windows here. That's not. Okay. Yeah, whenever you're ready, man, you can give us a countdown and we'll get it on.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Beep, beep, boop. Welcome to episode 67 of your Endless Ranters podcast. My name is Chris, but I am just one of your Endless Ranters hosts for tonight's episode. Joining me for tonight's show are the lovely and talented and annoyed Jane.
Hello.
Hello. Robbie Spotlight is in the house.
The truth is out there.
It is. We're going to get to it. And then last but not least, it's producer Manny. What's going down, old man?
Hey, Willie. How's it going, everybody?
It's going pretty well. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. We really appreciate you watching and listening to our episodes.
Apologies now for my terrible sound quality. We're
okay.
going to try to figure that out for next time.
You don't have anybody to apologize to. You're fine. So really, thanks to Jeff Lee for last week's episode.
That was such a fun time.
Yeah, number one, love that guy. Love that Jeff Lee guy, right?
We love you, Jeff.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I don't know. I kind of like, there's a couple things I can relate to him because my dad's full Korean, and it sounds like Jeff's dad was really into all things Americana, like buying a 67 or whatever it was, a Mustang and that kind of thing. My dad was very much the same, just loved the country, loved all things American. So it was kind of like brought back some memories. And
Hashtag stop Asian hate. Hashtag stop Asian hate.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay? Just tone it down. Yeah. Let's be realistic here.
No hating on Jeff Lee, at least.
Yeah.
Not
Stop
Jeff.
all that.
They're up for grabs.
Yeah.
The Asians.
Chris,
don't know
we can
that
hate
well.
on Chris a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He sort of likes
fine.
it. He's into that stuff.
Yeah. I was in Daytona Beach, home of the Daytona 500, but I heard you guys talking about that. I don't really follow NASCAR closely now, but I do like the NASCAR, and I've been to many races there at Daytona 500, Daytona Motor Speedway, many Daytona 500s and Pepsi 400s as they used to be called. I'm not sure what they're called now. They're probably like Zoom 400 or whatever the sponsors are. But again, thanks everybody for listening and watching, and I really enjoyed. I was listening to the Jeff Lee episode today, so just to kind of get in the spirit of things. So
Cool.
love that.
And
Love
that
too.
intro was pretty cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the intro, Manny?
I was just I've always been a fan of Tenacious D. I used to blast that fucking CD a lot during throughout high school, and the minute I got the word, well, when you locked Jeff in as the guest, I was just like, I know what song we got to use for him.
Cool.
And I just figured it'd set the mood for just like a fun time for everyone to enjoy.
I've never actually listened like to Tenacious D on purpose, but they are good. Very entertaining.
Yeah, they are. They can rock, right?
They do.
Yeah,
rock.
it's kind of cool.
And the CD itself, the album itself, from which that song is originated from, there's like a lot of skits in between the songs. So if you're not a skit person, you could just skip those and enjoy the music.
And I don't know if you know
Black,
much.
anyway.
Well, yeah, Jack Black. He does a lot of those ad libs, right? Like
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, what's that? But I like it. Sure.
He gives
speaking
the song a
of-
nice touch.
What is? I don't know if he's been in movies lately or what. If he's on hiatus or something, or
No, he's still working these days. I don't know what he's been in. We can find
Yeah.
out.
always very entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, and
He's
speaking
been
of
in-
entertaining, I wanted to just compliment Rob when you were doing the Beastie Boys. When you were doing your impersonation, you did your impersonation of Pinocchio doing the Beastie Boys. That was
Can't stand it.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
hell yeah. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank
like,
you.
hi everybody, or maybe it was Mickey Mouse. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Go Mickey Mouse doing the Beastie Boys.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So as Manny's looking for Jack Black tonight, on tonight's episode, we are going to don our tinfoil hats and talk a little bit about Little Green
Beam
Men.
ourselves up.
What's that?
We're gonna beam ourselves up.
Jane with her timely sci-fi reference.
We're gonna live, prosper, and how do they call it?
Nanu.
Nanu.
All right.
Yeah.
So, breaking fucking news. Since 2019, I mean, he was in Jumanji, he was in Goosebumps 2. There was Tenacious D, Post-Apocalyptic, The House with the Clock in the Walls. But most recently, something that's just caught my fucking mind and blew it out of the fucking water. He is going to be voicing a character in the sequel to Psychonauts, one of my favorite video games.
Oh.
Mole of the Light.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, that's scheduled to be being released later this year. And then he's also doing more video game voiceover work in, I think, is that a movie?
Borderlands?
Yeah, Borderlands.
Okay, cool.
Wow, he's really blowing up.
Oh no, it's actually a movie adaptation of the video game.
Oh, yeah. I've got my thoughts on Borderlands movie, but we can get to that some other time. There's some miscasting, I feel, but
yeah.
talk
So
about
yeah,
that.
the man's still working plenty,
That's
He's
cool.
out there.
I always thought it was really entertaining. So
Yeah.
I was just kind of curious.
Talented
So-
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get beamed up tonight. and talk a little bit about some of these UFO revelations. I don't know. I guess it was a couple weeks ago that 60 Minutes did a special on and had some. I mean, there've been a lot of specials like this, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing because it was pretty official, right? There were like military officers and people in the know, like talking about UFOs or whatever they call them, like aerial vehicle, something. They had another acronym for them.
UTIs.
Yeah.
Oh, not
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That would suck. Have a UFO flying.
Those
out of your
aliens
fucking-
have very narrow
Oh,
urethras.
Yeah. Fuck
More
that.
cranberry juice for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's pretty official. But then again, it just kind of comes and goes. You know what I mean? Like the news just is out there and
Mhm.
just comes, and people are like, "All right, moving on."
Much like
Man.
the truth.
Yeah, it's that carrot, man. I think they keep that carrot on us, and they just kind of have us just chasing it throughout the years. Every president, don't they always say that? Oh, I'm going to ask the questions. Yeah, sure, whatever. And
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a guy that was on with Adam Carolla, and what was he, the Navy SEAL? Something about that, where the presidents they have to answer their questions, but they have to know what questions to ask or something, something to that
Yeah.
effect. But,
Or who to
Oh,
ask.
right. They don't just tell. It's like they only answer questions. They don't volunteer
yeah,
anything outside of yeah.
yeah. It's like, come in here and give me the binder on all the UFOs. Or like, you're gonna have to be more specific, Mr. President.
Binders full of aliens.
Yeah, binders with like the old binders, what you'd put trading cards in,
or
business
binders
cards
full
in
of
with
women.
those- yeah. Yeah, Bill Clinton's binders.
2008 reference.
Yeah, Mitt Romney. Shout out to Mitt Romney. What's up, dude?
Oh, I don't know about
We'll
that.
play golf next week.
Mitt
So it was
Romney
in
had
the debates. It was the presidential debates between Romney. It was between him and Obama.
Yeah, I want to say
And
so. Yeah,
someone asked a question in the audience about
diversity
what
or
are you gonna
something.
do diversity and include, women, blah blah blah. And he's like, I've got binders full of women to choose from in
Nice.
my cabinet or something. And it was just sounded.
I got a basement's full of women. Does that count?
It was like 5 minutes later. There was like bindersfullofwomen.com. Yeah.
I should have voted for him twice.
You voted
Yeah.
for Romney twice?
No, I should have. I should have, yeah. So that's one of the most fascinating things about the whole UFO thing is that other things too, like how humans can hear something that should be kind of devastating or life-changing, and then it's just move right on. Like, what's for dinner? Okay, like watch that 60-minute special. See like really convincing evidence that there's something out there from another planet, and then just be like, yeah, so they got Walking Dead, like new episode of Walking Dead's on the DVR. You get ready to start it.
Yeah.
Just move on. So it's a weird thing, but it is pretty heavy to think about. I don't know. What do you guys think? I know. I'll just say personally, I don't know. So, but I kind of keep an open mind to it. Like you can't know for sure. You can't know for sure either way, I guess. So what do y'all think?
Okay, well, as far as me, I'm one of those like, I want to believe, I want to
Okay.
believe, guys. I want to, but I'm skeptical. But there's so much. I know there's so much out there that there's. I don't want to say. Yeah, there's visual evidence. I guess there's videos. There are firsthand accounts from people, but hey, I could be lying. But from what we've seen, we've seen military leak videos. I've never seen personally anything out there. I've got a buddy at work who has seen things. He's shown me videos. He every now and then he'll go out like hiking out kind of in the middle of outside of the cities. And he's former military guy, and there is videos where he's taken and you see this flying object. It's not blinking. It's moving kind of erratically. But like we were saying earlier this week, I think, or last week in a post on our Facebook group, check us out. I with the technology that we have, I want to see something more clear. I get it. I get it. It's difficult. Things are moving.
Yeah.
I
At some
think-
point, they're going
yeah.
to have to produce some HD footage, like
Oh,
some
yeah.
crystal clear HD footage.
I want
Come
some
on.
4K, buddy. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
I like how we have like stealth jets and they still
So
use
needy,
beta
Rob.
vision. You know, we have
Yeah.
stealth jets, but they still have like 35 millimeter cameras with beta, you know, like VHS tapes
Yeah.
packed in there. Looks
Yeah.
like shit.
I
Yeah.
want to see who's driving that thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm one of those where I'm like cautiously skeptical. But I know there's stuff there's weird things. I believe in a lot of supernatural weird things that maybe can't explain. I like the logical, of course. If ever anything happens, if I see something, hear a sound, whatever, I always find the logic. I'll do it all day long. But
You ever seen the chupacabra?
never seen that.
No.
But-
I've only heard tales of El Chupacabra.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, did you guys listen?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Or the
Yeah.
guy, he was on Rogan a couple months ago, and I totally forget his name, but he's like worked at down New whatever Area 51 or whatever.
Oh, was it Bob Lazar?
Oh,
That's it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because someone shared that to me. I
Very
think.
detailed firsthand account of what he saw there. Not, there was like video footage of UFO. I mean, it's technically a UFO. They do exist because they're
Mhm.
unidentified flying
Correct.
objects. What
Yeah.
we're wondering about is like, are they from Earth or not? So, I mean, he gave very detailed accounts, and it's pretty. I thought it was. I don't know. I believed him, but then the question is, does it have an explanation?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I mean, this could all be just a scam. But yeah, I thought you were going to be more skeptical, Jane. I thought Robbie, I think, is
yeah.
cautiously optimistic. He's like hoping.
I'm a little. I don't know if you might be referring to it, but there's one of the hot spots is called Skinwalker Ranch, and it's in Utah. And I think Bob Lazar sort of talks about it. I want to say the owner for many years was this guy whose name was Robert Bigelow, and he kind of bought the area, that land, knowing that there was weird stuff going on. Bob Lazar does have a documentary, and it's on Netflix. So check him out.
Okay, Skinwalker Ranch. I think I've seen that. Yeah,
Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah, and Bob Lazar does have a documentary on Netflix. He used to work. I want to say, I'm not sure if it was NASA, but he worked around some of that classified. I don't know, kind of UFO type of area. And he has a lot of stories, and like he talked about technology that we didn't see till 10, 15 years later, and he talked about it. But as far as Skinwalker Ranch, it's in Utah. There are a lot of reports of weird things going on, like the cows. I've read and heard some stories from like you'll see cows like skinned and like precisely, like laser, skinned
like
off.
What do they call it? Vivisected or something like that? Like, okay. I thought you were going to say turned inside out, man.
Well,
That'd be
even
wild too. Like,
even
forget
there's a
chicken
book.
Cow.
There is a Skinwalker Ranch book where it talks a lot about a lot of the stories on the weird happenings. Like you see some of the cows get damaged, like the legs broken, but not just broken. They say scientists, like actual doctors and stuff, the way that they would have been broken is if the cows were lifted up into the air and like dropped off, and then the legs were just the way they were broken, basically in the air. And you see a lot of that in the weird movies, like sci-fi movies. Yeah, they're lifting a cow up, but that's kind of what this book talks about. I'll see if I can find the book, but
I'm kind of yeah. So I've seen that Skinwalker Ranch video or movie, whatever documentary, come up in my Netflix, recommended section, and I've always just passed it by because I thought it was like the place where they do, how like LucasArts like has Lucas Ranch where they do all the CG.
Yeah.
I thought it was like that, but for like The Walking Dead, where they just do a
Yeah.
lot of zombie
I think-
makeup shit.
I think
stuff
this
like
one's
that.
called Hunt for the Skinwalker. So it's on audio form and actual book.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's there's talks about like a giant wolf in the night, killing the animals in the ranch. It's just weird stuff. So it's one of the areas that I'd love to like go explore sometime. Again, if I want to be cautiously skeptical, hey, I'd love to go kind of check it out.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. You go and
Yeah.
report. I don't know why you'd want to go there and be like, oh, look at this guy. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna pick him up and drop him from 40 feet and see what happens. This cow. See if his legs are stronger than a cow.
Yeah. Well, look, if I do go, this is what I'll say to people. If you want to go out and like maybe explore, go hiking, if you want to go out in the boonies, like mountains and stuff like that, David Politis, I've mentioned him a few times. He always advises this. If you want to be one of those kind of outside, not like your lake that you go picnicking, you one of those outside mountains, Yosemite and all that stuff. Take yourself a personal locator beacon that has GPS. There's a whole bunch of them like on Amazon. If you ever go like missing, or if you fall down, you break a leg or whatever, that will give you the ability to have emergency services come to you. I don't know how much that would cost if like a helicopter comes to you, but at least
Thousands.
yeah, depend. Do you want to live or not? Like that movie, 67 hours or something like that, where he cuts his
27.
arm off. 20,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where he
yeah.
chews his arm off.
Choose his arm. Yeah, basically cuts his arm off.
Chews it or cuts it.
You want to take yourself one of those if you really want to go out there in the middle of nowhere. So that's probably what I would do. I'd
So
get
we're
myself
talking about
yeah.
aliens, and you're just giving general safety tips for hiking, right? Yeah.
I mean, Robbie's spotlight's got range.
Hey, if I'm beamed up in the UFO, I'll just press that button and I'm like, dude, NASA, come help me out, man. Come find me.
The prepper mindset for alien exploration.
Yeah, I'm a beginner prepper, man.
Yeah.
Prepping's kind of an interesting thing to get into. So yeah, there are a lot of very credible people that have very credible stories about what they've seen. So I kind of stumbled, it was just kind of a luck. I really like the Foo Fighters. And one day I was curious, years ago, I was curious, what is that name? And you Google Foo Fighters, and it's the name that World War II pilots, I guess, Allied and German, or I don't know, or Allied pilots gave to these unidentified flying objects that they would see. So they're in World War II era airplanes, and they're seeing orbs and things like that move around. And I guess at the time, they weren't sure if they were like Nazi, it was like Nazi or, German technology or something. But then I guess they uncover archives that German pilots were seeing the same things. We're wondering, is that American, or like, Western technology that's or American allied technology that's like monitoring us. So, I mean, that kind of these stories by like, straight laced pilots, you don't have like hippie weirdos that are joining the army and becoming Air Force pilots in World War II. There's just straight laced people. And kind of reporting the same thing. So it's kind of maybe the truth is out there, Robbie.
Yeah. What about you, man? Mo man, what do you think? Got your thoughts on that?
Well, to take it back to the truth being out there, X-Files and Jack Black, he was on one of the episodes early on.
Was he really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he played like the supervisor, manager, whatever, of this arcade. And he unfortunately got electrocuted to death by a lightning bolt. No UFO relation, but I just thought it was funny how the two
X-Files. For sure.
collided. Yeah. I do think that there's life out there.
What kind of life?
Extraterrestrial life,
Conscious life, like
yeah,
level of consciousness that humans have. Okay.
Absolutely. I don't think that we're the only ones, to be honest with you. So
Jane Sheridan, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what about Jane?
Well, Jane shared an article.
Later. I'll point shit at some point. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Well, Jane shared an article.
Living in your little fantasy world for now.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I just think that there's something out there. It's also weird how people, make the connection between sleep paralysis and abductions.
Mm.
Yeah, I had a sleep paralysis experience once, and shit was really weird because I was drifting off into what I thought was going to be sleep, and I all of a sudden just freeze up, and the window next to me, there was no light out, but the next thing I knew, I couldn't move. My blinds just start like rattling all over the place, like there was a fucking helicopter in the courtyard, just like hovering there, and bright light coming through the window, and I saw some weird shit coming, like shadows coming through, and I was just freaking the fuck out, like, yo, what the hell's going on? I don't know what this is.
And you
You're
couldn't
in a
move.
state where you
Uh,
couldn't, yeah, you're awake, but you couldn't move even though you wanted to.
Exactly. I was fucking terrified, dude, because I didn't know, like, yo, this wasn't happening a second ago. Why is it happening now? I need to fucking move and, force myself to roll out of bed, and everything
Were
just
you,
stopped, and it
were you
snapped back into reality. Like the blinds weren't moving. There was no light. There was no sound, nothing. It was just like wasn't there to begin with.
Was there any anal probing or anything, or you were not there yet?
There
This
was anal secretions of a kind that I had to,
it was just a
tend to.
foreplay.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Just a foreplay, man.
were you like stressed out about something in life at that point? Like, did you lose your job? Were you, like getting molested by someone regularly?
I was a full-grown adult, so there was no molestation going on.
Hey,
Just some
don't- it has
self-molestation.
No age. Molestation victim has no age.
Okay, I will agree with you there, but no, there wasn't anything funky like that going on, and I was gainfully employed, so there were no stressors, which
I
was
think
really
Mo Man
Girl
welcomes
breaking your
molestation these days.
nothing like that. No, it was weird. That's why it was so strange. It's like, what? Why did this manifest, or why did I experience this?
Had you been binging X-Files or anything like that prior to this incident?
It's funny because I might have. I'm not sure. Because there's some times where I'll just like binge it from time to time throughout the year, but I don't think I was at
Yeah.
that point.
If I can real quick kind of summarize this movie that I don't think it got great reviews, but it kind of creeped me out. It's called, well, as a little side note, we're talking about aliens right now. I've never seen, what is it? Encounters of a Third Kind. Is that what it's called?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yep.
Yeah. With, but I've seen this one called The Fourth Kind with Mila Jovovich.
Dude,
It's
that
kinda-
fucking movie is terrifying, man.
It creeped me out, man. It
I
creeped
don't
me
think
out.
I've seen that.
So a little synopsis. So it's a mockumentary. The fourth kind plays well among audiences' willingness to suspend their disbelief and actually entertain the possibility of alien abductions.
Oh no,
as
no, I have
fact.
seen that. I have seen
Yeah.
that. I'll be
So when
honest
it was-
with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I know I think I have seen it, but I blocked that shit out real quick afterwards. Same with like there was a movie in the 90s called Fire in the Sky.
Dude,
With
yes.
your boy DB Sweeney.
DB Sweeney, man.
I watched that and I was like, oh no.
I need to watch that after hearing
I blocked that shit out
summary
quick.
of it because it sounds really interesting.
Well, if you why do you block it out? Because it's so creepy. It's like,
because he's been molested by extraterrestrials. That's why.
Yeah, well, I feel left out that I haven't been. No, I don't. I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to. I don't need to like start thinking about that. I don't need to, start worrying about.
well, look, Fire in the Sky. I think it's one of the most popular ones. That's supposed to be, in quotations, one of the most accurate, and it's based on an actual story of a person. It was in 1993, and then, like you said, it was DB Sweeney stars as a guy named Walton. And I think they're hunting out in the forest somewhere, and they hear
I
a
thought it
noise.
was a logging company.
You know what? You're right. It was supposed to be in 1975 November, Arizona. Funny enough, the town is called Snowflake, Arizona, and they're loggers, like you said. And true story. And driving home from work, the loggers come across an unidentified flying object. So, curious to learn more, Walton gets out of the truck and is struck by a bright beam of light from.
You're reading this. I thought you were like. I was like, damn. What does Robbie watch this shit today?
Dude, I've seen the movie. It's one of the most famous out there. So,
I saw it one time. One time, that was it. I was done.
So he basically wakes up in the UFO, and he starts getting probed and stuff. His friends, he goes missing. He finally gets found somewhere else. His friends, they call 911. They speak to the sheriff. They speak to the authorities, and basically, I think all the authorities believed him because all their friends had the same story. And when he came back, he had that same story. After they were interviewed. It was fire in the sky. So it was the guy's name was Travis Walton. He's one of the most famous stories out there of an actual, like I said, quote unquote, abductions,
alien anal probie.
Yeah, but dude,
that should look like it hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate that movie at all.
Well, there is a scene in the movie talking about. Chris was said, "Oh, you just saw it." I remember vividly. I think there's a scene where there's this like wrapping. Something wrapped around the guy's like body, and he can barely breathe, or it looked like he can barely breathe. And basically, it's like you get beamed out of nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah, like I think it's the like if you've got Jason from Halloween, is that hockey mask guy?
Yeah,
or the Michael whatever. Like, all right, that shit's not going to happen, right? That's totally made up. But then if you're like trying to convince me that you could be abducted by aliens and just get your shit pushed in for, overnight. No one's going to believe you. That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. Exactly. So Manny, you were paralyzed. You had sleep paralysis.
Fun fact about Snowflake, Arizona.
Oh.
Town in Navajo County, Arizona, founded in 1878 by Erastus Snow and William Jordan Flake, who were Mormon pioneers and colonizers. That was their names.
Okay.
Mr.
Weird.
Snow, Mrs. Flake. Okay.
Yes. And they were polygamous. They had a jillion kids and wives.
Yeah, they were.
That explains why they were able to start a town.
William Jordan Flake was the father of 11 sons and 9 daughters, lived to the age of 93.
Damn.
Erastus Snow had 4 wives, 23 sons, and 13 daughters.
Got to give it up to these guys that can like have multiple wives and keep them all happy. You know what I mean?
Who says they were happy? I think they were all just too busy surviving.
Oh, well, happy, trapped, whatever,
Yeah.
Same difference.
They were born with different names. Like these were their given names, apparently.
No, yeah, that's weird. Maybe that's what. Maybe the aliens were like, "Oh, we got to check this place out. This is weird."
This is like Smart. The grocery store Smart and Final, Manny.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I never heard of that.
2 guys. One named Smart, one named Final.
Oh, really?
That Final, that's just an unfortunate last name, man.
I work with a guy named Failing, Failing. That's bad.
Yeah.
There's a sex toy store in San Francisco. It's called Good Vibrations. I wonder if it's like John Good and Tommy Vibrations.
Could be, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, Robbie Spotlight.
So
Manny was sleep paralyzed, but you didn't get off though. No orgasms for you.
No, there was nothing sexual related to that episode.
That is some bullshit.
Oh, okay.
It was so weird. And much like you, like fuck off with like not wanting to watch the movie. Like I don't want to like relive that.
Yeah. Take Robbie when he goes out hiking.
Yeah. Look, I have had sleep paralysis myself. That's one. Yeah, I know it sounds like pretty, I don't know, kind of weak-minded almost. But I stopped sleeping face down for a long time because I was afraid that, if you're sleeping face down, you're not
just making it easier for the alien.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Face down, that's up.
Yeah, it's like you gotta, dude. Come on, man, you gotta work for it.
You don't move on your nightstand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I make it easy leaving that lotion right next to me.
Little note that says "Be gentle."
Yeah, exactly. I leave some cookies and some milk during Christmas time, but that's
that'd be a good alien T-shirt, Manny. Like a little green man that says "Face down, ass up." Anyway, yeah.
No, but seriously, no. I've had some sleep paralysis before, and it's freaked me out, man. It has freaked me out. Now, scientifically speaking, former guests, maybe some of the more smarter ones, Will Willis or whoever might be into the medical side. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe how you've got the sleep, REM, and then you're not quite there yet. Maybe your eyes, your mind starts waking up, your body's not there yet. That could be it. Or you could be, there could be something out there like a shadow person or an alien. I don't know, but maybe it's scientific. That's why I'm like
there's so
cautiously.
much. I guess, there is so much about the brain that we don't understand, or even dreams, or like taking psychedelics and all that kind of stuff. As a lot of Jordan Peterson talks about that a good bit. He always seems to touch on that subject in his interviews. But yeah, sure, that's or you could be in the Matrix.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Russ, you just did an interview. Jordan Peterson did an interview with Russell Peters, and he talked about how he's actually investing in microdosing.
Oh yeah, he talked about that too on Rogan's.
Yeah, very small doses of LSD. And it's like the new thing. I was like, oh, that is such a good idea to invest. I was like, I don't know. I found that more intriguing than investing in CBD. I feel like that's so.
Hey, if you ever want to take a walk on the medical wild side, Jane, there's a clinic around the corner from my house. They do ketamine therapy.
Is that another word for LSD?
It's another word for mushrooms.
No, ketamine is something different, I think.
Yeah, it acts as a tranquilizer, but like if you microdose it, it's supposed to also help with other ailments and whatnot.
Well, I'm more interested in the investing part. Russell Peters said he's never actually tried it. He's just investing in it.
Great.
Well, there was speaking of Jordan Peterson and his podcast, maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago, he had a doctor from Johns Hopkins who was very straight-laced and didn't turn into a hippie, like acid head, taking a bunch of acid, and all that. But he,
these AC/DC tie-dyed guys, right?
Yeah. Jordan Peterson had him on, and they had a 2-hour interview where he was describing that he got funding because and did tests on people with psilocybin, which I think that's the active ingredient in mushrooms, magic mushrooms, whatever. And pretty remarkable results. Again, this guy was not Timothy Leary or some guy that was saying trip out, whatever. This was a doctor at Johns Hopkins that convinced people to get to give or convince the hospital or the research institute to give them funding for this. And they found that it would do all kinds of things to cure depression. Like they did a lot of testing on, very controlled testing on people with terminal cancer who were, obviously in a very depressed state, and taking doses, very controlled doses of psilocybin. I think I'm saying that right. Mushrooms, and it really removing depression, and with lasting effects, very long lasting effects, because there's just something that I've eaten mushrooms before several times, and it's a very difficult thing to explain what happens and how you see the world during those trips, if you will. So that was a really fascinating episode. What's that?
Rip on. You do an ER special with where we all try mushrooms or LSD and talk.
We'd have to be in the same room.
Yeah,
me and my friends used to do it, but we would do it in very controlled environments, kind of like we knew,
you got to be in a safe space.
Yeah, I had a house, and we would just do it in the house, just not really lock ourselves in. We just didn't have any plans to go anywhere. We'd have a shit ton of beer, and it was just the best time ever. And it is a really mind altering experience for sure. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, Manny.
Either have good trips or bad trips, then I feel like I'd be scared of going down the bad trip. But if you have a good trip, it can be life changing for the better. Like you learn about yourself, and changes your perspective, and kind of adds another layer. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's up with my audio.
You might have to just rejoin. It'll reset. It just sounds a little bit cloudy. Sorry. I know it's annoying.
Like the third time. But, all right.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it
the
is
charm,
kind of,
right?
I don't know, Manny, have you ever done that?
What, mushrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
No.
I've been offered plenty of times. I just never. I don't want to trip for so long that I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't
Taking
think I could do it now.
committing like I don't know how many hours to a trip. It's just like eventually I think at one point I'd just be like, I want off. But I don't know. That's just me making that assumption. Maybe when I'm experiencing the damn things, like I don't want this to end.
If you're having a good time, you are just like, this is, I don't want this to end.
Yeah.
Or
All
it
right.
just kind of wears off. I mean, if like this study was showing, like it really cured people of depression, like it just changed something, either in their brain chemistry or in just the way they saw, like in the way they were experiencing the world. And I think they said something like, if some part of depression or whatever is the lack of hope or the lack, like fear of death or something like that, it's gone.
Right.
And that kind of sticks with you, like this different, man, I just don't even know how to describe it, this different perception of the world. So yeah, it's good times. I don't think I could do it now. I'm talking about, this is like late teens, like early 20 some years old, something like that, when you just
Prep
had
school
done
days, your fancy prep school white boy days.
yeah, when you don't have a care in the world. I did go fishing one time on mushrooms. That was freaking awesome. Like imagine putting a hook on a worm or catching a fish when you're.
Did you hear
Yeah.
the worm scream as you were putting the hook through it?
I was, man, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. Just such a, I don't know, matrixy kind of thing.
Well, before we go down that wormhole, we gotta return to the original one that we first went down on.
Yeah. That was just kind of,
UFO.
it just remembered that because, yeah, I don't know what got us on that subject. Jordan Peterson and like microdosing. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
that's
think
right.
that they are, it's just so out there right now, but they are kind of, there's a lot of information on how that could be therapeutic. So that's probably what Russell Peters is investing in, maybe these
Yeah.
therapies.
In hopes that it will benefit mankind. I'm all for
Well,
it.
I think he's trying to make money.
And benefit
Well,
mankind.
right. I mean, you invest in something that's a service
Well,
that
he's
people
not
will pay
even done it
for.
himself.
Well, isn't it because he can't get it over here? I think that was part of the problem. He has to go.
Oh,
And-
maybe.
Why else would he would be
Right.
investing in it? Because he
Right.
thinks it's something that's going to have a return on investment, therefore like people are going to be wanting to pay for it, like as a therapy or just as some recreation thing. Like what's he investing in?
Oh, it's as I guess to get a return on investment. Another
Yeah.
source
Well,
of
it's
income.
supposed to be small doses, but you can't control whether people actually adhere to the dosage.
Exactly. They could say like 10 small doses and then be just like out of here.
Well, the way this study was done was that it was very controlled, where like you didn't get to like, they didn't give you like a bottle and be like, it's on the
Have
honor
fun.
system. Like here's a few, dots of mescaline or whatever. It's on the honor system. Tell us how it went.
Dots
They
of
like, it was very controlled. Like they could, and I think they used psilocybin, the ingredient in mushrooms, because that was the one thing that was something that they could really control, like exactly how long it lasted, something like that. And then they would keep them there. And I think he said something like they weren't allowed to like get up and like, dance around the room and shit. They had to like sit there on a sofa or something like that and just kind of explain what was going on. I don't know.
And I assume there were sober people taking notes, asking questions.
No, it's done by Cheech and Chong. Yeah, there's Dr. Cheech and Dr. Chong. No, yeah, it was like, doctors, like psychologists, whatever, like really,
Yeah.
like it was a proper study, like really studying these people and then having follow-ups for years afterwards to see like how long did this last, or like, yeah. So yeah, and of course they're always looking for people that are scamming or something. It's yeah, I don't know.
So I think we asked Chris, I think, gave us his point of view on what he believes. I did what I believe, Mole Man as well. What about Jane? We see Jane as a more logical. We need evidence. We need, what does Jane believe? Do you believe in aliens? Are you,
Jane is
Oh,
an
I've
alien.
read, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the stuff I read is sort of how probable. So I think the probability of general life, like having, what do you call it, bacteria, plants, reaching those levels, it's probably a good chance out there. But I think to get to the level of sophistication that of the human brain is so rare and unlikely that that's where my skepticism is. So because I think it requires a lot of the factors to go right, and even with all the gazillion stars, there could be a couple out there, but if the chance of them being within a reachable distance, because everything's light year, you measure in light years, and nothing can travel faster than light. So they could be like a billion light years away. How are we ever going to, can anything survive that long? Can anything last long enough to reach us?
I mean, Earth rules. There's Earth rules, like as far as what we know, like nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. But
no,
like our knowledge is very limited.
I believe that's a universe rule.
Okay, based on what?
It's theory of relativity, which encompasses outside of Earth. I mean, this isn't. You would have to be in another universe. Maybe other universes have rules that are different, but
I'm with you. I mean, I don't know, but it's also
the speed of light is not an Earth-centered concept.
right.
Is my point.
Well, it kind of is, because it's all done. This
oxygen,
is
all the periodic table of elements is also pretty universal. You've got the one, what do you call it? The one atom, the one electron, the one proton, and then you got the two electron, the two, like we filled in that period. Everything in the universe adheres to that.
Don't you think there's a lot of stuff we don't know about the universe, and like
Yeah.
our information is all Earth-based and based on what we know?
Or within our immediate universe, if you want to say that, for lack of a better term, I think.
Okay, but the other thing is to achieve a level of development like a human brain where we're conscious and looking and curious about the rest of the universe. I mean, nothing else on this planet is curious about the rest of the universe, right? Like we're the only, like, monkeys aren't sitting there like, oh, we're going to go explore. We're going to go up into space. Nothing has that intelligence or curiosity. So we have to find another planet that not only has life, but is evolved, has life that has evolved to the same level or even more evolved than humans. And that's the unlikely part.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be unlikely within a distance that we could communicate with.
Okay, that we can. And I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate, because I kind of, on one end, I think you're right, but then all of our opinions are based on very limited data, right? Limited to humans, one species on Earth, and whatever we've studied so far, and all the the scientific stuff and the Big Bang Theory, and then there's gray matter and black matter, and then there's white matter, and then there's always an article coming out about
travel,
and then there's also all lives matter.
That's true. There's Black Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter. But it's kind of but at the same time, there's so much we don't know. So it's kind of like, okay, based on what we can know it's really, really unlikely. But then what does that even mean? Unlikely could be 1 in 100. It could be 1 in a billion. It could be 1 in a trillion. Like, it's like a very,
Well,
really, it's a
these
very vague term.
sites I found, they're saying, so there was a guy named Frank Drake that developed a formula for the likelihood of life on other planets. And this was, I think, back in the 60s, and he concluded that, the conclusion there was like, oh, well, based on these levels of probability, yeah, we probably aren't alone. There is something out there. But then they revised it a couple decades later, and he was actually the Drake guy was on the board that was involved with updating this formula. And then they were like, yeah, there's like a 50% chance we're all alone in the universe.
What haven't humans and human scientists been wrong about more things than they've been right about? And what makes
There's
us
also
believe?
that.
Okay,
What,
so which
what
one
makes
of us
us
is
believe?
wrong?
What makes us believe that now we got it figured out? You know what I mean? Now we got it. Now we're hitting 98% right all the time. Whereas our entire human history is getting it wrong a lot. And I know everybody kind of throws around theory of relativity and the black holes and black matter and all this stuff, but like there's always articles coming out about, and the headlines are always scientists may have found something else, or there may be something, there's always articles coming out that kind of allude to the fact that they're not that sure about this stuff. They're really not that sure about this stuff. So, and it's just, we've been wrong about a lot of science, and I guess I'm with you, because I think you're probably right. And I think that's probably right. But then, like, what if all of a sudden there's a UFO and we do get some HD footage? It's like, oh shit. Well, back to the drawing board,
Well,
Um,
yeah.
Well, Jane will
Well-
just have to eat crow and be like, damn, I was wrong.
as she's being beamed away, like, I was wrong.
A cow beside her as well.
Thank you, Randy Quaid, Independence Day.
I don't know. I think it's like you kind of bring it. Yeah, we'll start talking about some movies soon, but you bring it to like, what can you really know, and what can you, what do you think, and what is very probable? Like, it's very probable that the sun will come up tomorrow. The sun will be around
Right.
tomorrow, but you don't really know that. I mean, I know you can be 99.9 whatever, sure, but
Right?
there's
What
a
if
lot of things we
really-
We
don't
have to
know.
operate, if we don't have any universal truths or to fall back on, then what is anything? Like, you have to have some kind of foundation to base your theories on. You
Yeah,
can't just say,
but
anything.
then-
Like, we could, like, there's spontaneous combustion. Like, any of us could just disappear. Like, physically, there is a chance that our bodies could just go up and disappear.
But then the
disappear
whole
randomly, it's called chaos theory.
the whole effort of science is to
of atoms could just disappear, but they don't.
right. Well, speaking of like a universal truth or whatever, it's like, okay, well, then at some point, like, we've never stopped accepting that, because if we did just say stop and that's it, then we would just not stop. There wouldn't be SETI or whatever that place is, the Hadron Collider, and wherever the hell that is in Europe or something. Like, they're working really hard on all these research projects because they don't accept that there is this settled universal truth, or else if they did, they wouldn't be trying to figure it all out still. So it's kind of
We're just trying to solve mysteries, the things, the puzzles that they haven't solved.
I think there are a lot of them.
But I think light, the speed of light is, I don't think that's been disputed, or the theory of relativity. I mean, that's pretty accepted.
Yeah,
Even though
pretty
it's
accepted is probably
technically
not like what they lead with.
Evolution is a theory.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't think scientists usually lead with terms like it's pretty accepted, so it's like they're not sure and they pursue it, and I'm all for it, but I don't know. I
The
just think
definition of a theory.
there's things that we know, and there's things that we're pretty sure about, what we really don't know. So
The 2 points it's any 2 points you can draw a straight line between. That's a theory. That can't
Okay.
be. I'm pretty sure that's fault. That I mean, something that's just so accepted
Mhm.
is still technically a theory.
Chris mentioned the hadron collider, right?
Yeah.
That
Yep.
there's some weird stuff going on there because I've kind of looked into that place, and I've looked into the facility. There's like they have like a statue of like a Hindu goddess or something right outside of the facility, and I don't know. It seems there. You guys should look it up. There's some weird like I want to say some weird occult stuff going out
Always
there.
taking it back to the occult, Rob.
I'm telling you, it's
I
just,
heard at the Hadron Collider they don't serve cow.
I'm telling you, if you guys look also, if you guys look at the logo for CERN, which is a company that you know
Is that I think that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
CERN. There's their logo. If you look at the
CERN.
logo, it's like a 666 on there. I'm telling you, man. Quana, back me up. Back me up, Quana.
Oh my God.
Yeah, back me up. So there's some weird stuff, man.
Juan, is he
Our
right?
resident conspiracy
Yeah, and it's
theorist.
somewhere in Europe, right? I think they're doing some black hole stuff.
Yeah,
And one
because
of-
they're really not sure about these things. There are a lot of theories. They're trying to prove them, and there's a lot of there are a lot of holes, a lot of gaps that they're trying to fill in. So they do
Yeah.
these experiments where they throw like atoms or whatever at each other, like whatever, they're just like smashing these things to each other and trying to take pictures of what happens. And then, one year that's like, well, they've discovered gray matter, and then it's like, well, that discovery of gray matter creates another gap, because what they thought before that, they realized, oh, we were a little bit wrong about that, so that's what I'm saying. They're just always pursuing like this truth.
They got a lot
That's
of
kind of why they
weird-
spend it. And anyway, that could be a good tie into like sci-fi movies, because I'm always like, these fuckers underground are like throwing atoms together at the speed of light.
yeah,
or
we don't know
whatever,
what
and
they're
it's
gonna
like,
do, man.
like you're gonna create like they're creating the black hole for Thanos to come and like
Oh.
wreck our world.
Well, kind of,
So,
yeah. And
Jane Thanos. Jane's
yeah.
like, Thanos. Who's Thanos?
well, I don't know. Speaking of movies, I don't know if it was featured. What was it? The same satellite? The country with one of the biggest satellites is in Puerto Rico, right? The Arecibo Observatory, and
Yes.
I think
yeah.
I think it's like broke or whatever, but it's like a
collapsing is what it's doing.
it's a gargantuan telescope in Puerto Rico, and it's like it was trying to find the cosmos for like asteroids and alien life and everything. But I guess it's not. I don't know. Probably not working anymore.
Puerto Rico is not a country, Rob.
Puerto Rico is not a country.
That's right.
Are you sure?
I'm
All right.
sure.
I'm sorry,
Territory,
guys.
right?
Yeah.
It's a territory.
Speak-
I'm
It's a
sorry.
territory. Yeah. I'm
I
trying to
made a
think.
mistake, and I must say that it's
China's
so
pissed.
it's so important. I love and respect the Puerto Rican people. I am very sorry for my mistake. Sorry. I'm really sorry. You have to understand that I love and respect Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people.
And that you have a lot to learn.
And I have a
in
lot
your
to learn.
ignorance. Very
And
humbling.
Yeah.
thank you all the mommies and the poppies out there.
Konnichiwa.
Thanks, Chris.
Like hit all those
Konnichiwa.
points.
Yeah, so Robbie's doing a little play on John Cena and his Mandarin apology. I'm not sure in this Puerto Rican case though who's upset, like who's offended. Like China was offended that he called Taiwan a country.
Yeah, but it's really a territory, I guess. I don't know, right?
I really don't know. I don't know.
Jeffrey
as far as-
Lee, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, I think Jeff said that his dad, they moved here from Taiwan, right? Isn't that what he said in that in his episode?
He was born here.
He was born here, but his dad was from Taiwan. Maybe I'm making that up, but I thought that's what I heard.
According to
Either.
Wikipedia, Taiwan, officially the Republic of China, is a country in East Asia.
Well, there you go, John Cena. You apologize for
Kind of play
nothing.
both sides there.
All right. We got to have a
Oh.
Taiwanese person next.
Yeah. So Robbie apologizes to all the
Yeah.
Puerto Rican people
Thank
out
you.
there.
I do have family in Puerto Rico.
Or whoever would be upset that
Yeah. Thank you.
that he called Puerto Rico a country.
Yeah. Sorry. It's a territory. I'm sorry, guys.
But
So
yes.
anyway.
Yep. All right. So moving on to this heated discussion that none of us are qualified to have about these things. Or maybe Jane is. She knows. She's got advanced degrees in mathematics. But so we were going to talk a little bit about some of our favorite alien movies, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Who want? Well, Rob,
One-
we already talking about a few of them.
Nerd alert.
Yeah. Well, we can start with the one movie that Jane has seen. in the
Yeah,
last
let's
25
let the
years.
lady
Let's
go
do it.
first.
All right. Independence Day is my only, off the top of my head, alien movie. And they were kind of ugly and they were mean and they just wanted to destroy us. But it brought us together. It brought the world together
It did.
on the 4th of July. So it was like America centered, but then it like the whole world came together around the 4th of July.
I love that part. There was a part in the movie where, the Americans were rallying and had a plan to defeat the aliens. And like they had I think it was like the British people that were like, it's about bloody time,
Yeah.
that the Americans did something about this. Like,
Yeah.
it was so American centric. That's funny.
Well,
yeah.
You know what's so American centric as well is just the way that we beat the aliens. We just freaking crashed in there. Who was it?
Randy
oh.
Quaid.
Yeah, was it Randy Quaid? Yeah,
Yep,
he
yep.
was like, "Woohoo! Here we go!" And then he just, crashed like a NASCAR car into the mothership.
Oh yeah. What did he say?
We
I'm
upgraded.
home. He said, I'm
We
home.
upgraded from World War champs to Galaxy War champs.
That's
It
right.
was the next logical
Yeah.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earth, Earth.
I love that movie. I saw that movie on the 4th of July, or that's probably one of those things where it came out like on July 2nd or something like that. But I think I saw it like maybe on the 4th of July, and I was ready to go. I was ready to, I wasn't going to join the Army or Air Force. I'm way too selfish for that. But when I came out of that theater,
Yeah.
if there was an alien attack,
Yeah.
and there was a jet, they were like, hey, get
Uh-huh.
this jet and fly. And like, I would have been like, I'm down. I'm
Oh, yeah.
in. I'm in.
This-
I'll definitely do this.
Independence-
I don't really want to go through all the training and the sacrifice, but I would have gotten right in a jet at that moment.
Independence Day, the movie was like Chris's 9/11 for a lot of the soldiers that joined right after 9/11. Chris was like,
Yeah.
you know
It's
what?
almost the same exact thing.
I think I see something moving in the sky. I don't care. I'm joining. I'm going to. Yeah.
Like, somebody bring me an F-16 and I'm
Yeah.
I'm down. I will
I'll pull on that joystick and
sacrifice.
just. Yeah.
Yeah, I had played what was I don't know what the game was on like Nintendo. It was like Super Nintendo at that point, like maybe 64-bit Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was ready to go. I think no, Top Gun was one of the big Super Nintendo hits at that time.
It was, or NES, I think. Nintendo. Yeah.
I could have pulled it off.
Wow. All you got to do is
Randy Quaid was like a half drunk when he saved the entire human race
He was.
Yeah.
in that movie.
Because people didn't believe him also in the movie.
That's right.
You know,
He had
they-
gotten
They
probed.
mocked him. Yeah.
They mocked him.
Yeah.
By the way, the other thing that was super American or human centric about that movie was how easy or convenient it was to give the mothership a virus with their computer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Jeff Goldblum was the only one that could do that. That's true.
With Will Smith's
32
assistance.
to save us.
Well, there was a scene too where Will Smith, he
Welcome
wrecked
to
his,
Earth.
yeah, and he punched the alien with the exoskeleton. He punched it in the face and knocked it out cold for hours,
Yep.
and it didn't wake up until it was in whatever underground at Area 51.
I
Oh,
just
plus he
dragged this
also,
motherfucker through the desert. What's
yeah,
up?
also he crashed. Like he had this dogfight with an alien spaceship.
Yep.
Just to few hundred yards, like just within an hour's hike of Area 51. Fortunately, that worked out.
Exactly. Gotta love that convenience.
Independence Day 3, we're gonna give aliens COVID 22. So you ready, aliens?
Maybe that's why Fauci was, doing gain of function research at Wu-Tang, at the Wu-Tang lab. Yeah, the Wu-Tang clan is like going to be saving the day in Independence Day 3.
Yeah.
Is there a 3 coming out?
I hope not.
2, I think 2 was so bad. It got bad reviews, and I think it didn't really do so well. I saw it.
2 was offensive.
I remember there was a 2.
There was a 2. Yeah.
It was a fly-by-night operation. It just came and went.
It was really bad.
It was bad.
Well, another favorite moment of Independence Day was right after Randy Quaid sacrificed his life for the human race. Bill Pullman, the president, called him a son of a bitch. It's like you just insult his mother after he does this. Plus, his kids were. Yeah, and then I love in that movie how they let his kids were just hanging out in NORAD in like the command and control center, like along the generals and everybody else. Like, the kids were just like, "What are you doing? Where's my dad?"
It's all right. Your drunkard of a father's going to save us all. So just don't touch anything. Just stay there.
Yeah. Like there's, don't go to the waiting room. Just stand here next to all this equipment. I love that movie though, man. I love that movie.
So have you seen any other alien movies, Jane, at all? Any to your recollection? No.
I think I saw E.T. when I was a little kid, but I don't remember any.
E.T.
I saw Independence Day multiple times. So
multiple times.
What is it about that movie that calls to you?
And it's clear.
It's a great film.
It's been years since I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's a great movie.
Roland. Okay, well, yeah.
There was a time where, whenever that came on TV, I would watch it. It was like I had to watch it. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. And I can't even count how many times I've seen Independence Day.
It gave me goosebumps back when I was in high school. Little goosebumps.
Nice.
Yeah. Manny, Mo-Man, any good alien movies for you? Any favorite ones that you like?
Oh shit, dude.
It's okay. It's not like we gave you time to prepare all day.
Yeah,
I know. Don't worry.
I'll tell you.
No, because I have a few, but I just don't know which.
I know.
I'll tell you my top 2.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as like a fun alien movie goes, I'll definitely nominate Stargate. It's up there as
that's on my list for tonight. Hell
well,
yeah.
Speaking of CERN, man. Speaking of CERN and the Hadron Collider, wormholes. I think it is wormholes. There's a gate in the movie, right? And I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. I think it's one of the things that people want to do, or I don't know if they want to do specifically, but is do a gate that will take you to a different either universe, galaxy, or whatever, right?
Yeah, they're gonna fuck something up. It's like the zombie virus movies always start with somebody that's trying to cure cancer, and they create a bunch of zombies. It's like they're gonna be testing, trying to figure out black holes, and wind up inviting aliens to come and f up our stuff.
Yeah,
they need to stop it. They need to knock it off.
Yeah. All right, I got another nomination. It's kind of a mixture of two. It's a comic book movie and semi-alien because it's just basically a what-if scenario. It's just like, what if an alien being like Superman came to Earth, but instead of being good, he was bad. Mm-hmm. And so it was this movie called Brightburn. I recommend it. It's very
good movie.
It sounds familiar. Yeah,
it's a good movie, and it's a bit on the gory side at some points. So I wasn't prepared for that. Aside from that, Predator is always a fun movie. Aliens, fuck with those all day. Yeah. Event Horizon. I mean, that one's like a really
That's too scary. Yeah, I don't. For the record, I don't like scary movies at all. So,
well, that's why it's like a horror movie, and it also takes place in space. It's about the spaceship that it finds its way into hell, and it comes back all possessed and shit. It's
that's not cool.
Dude. There you go, going again. Back to the Hadron Collider and CERN. He goes to I think the spaceship, right? There's some sort of, instead of going to another world, they go to basically hell, right? They go
An existence that's like equivalent to hell. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
nothing but torture and pain and agony. And
Yeah,
anguish.
so that pisses. Like I was like half hour into that movie. I'm like, you just got to nuke this thing. Just nuke it. Just dump a bunch of warheads on it. You don't want to explore this shit. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, you're just open up a can of worms or can
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Can
And
of
well,
alien
another movie. Or are you done with your movies? Anything else? Well, man.
Always a classic X Files. All if you ever want anything that's
Mhm.
UFO related, that's always a tried and true classic.
Jane, you ever seen any X Files episodes? Any
I think she would.
X Files thoughts at all?
Never watched it.
I think she would relate to Scully, honestly, more than Mulder.
Really?
Yeah.
Scully.
Oh,
Because
wait,
she's
with
thinking-
Gillian Anderson.
Anderson. She's a
Yeah.
doctor.
Is she hot?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah,
I-
she
I
is,
would
but
say-
it's like she just always looks, upset or angry or something like that. I don't
That's
know.
part of the
You know what I
allure.
mean?
for
And
me.
because she
I
was in
guess
love
so.
with Fox Mulder. Come on, man.
Like she's really hot and you want to get with her, but then she's also like really mean.
Yeah, she's like, I'm busy with work. Fuck off.
And
It's
it's
like,
gonna
okay,
make you feel bad about yourself all the time.
She's making you work for it, man.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made Mulder work for it big
Yeah.
time.
He finally got it. They had a
Guys,
baby
Come on,
together.
man up, guys.
Huh? Hey,
Said man
You know,
up.
she
Oh,
wasn't. She
let her
didn't
get-
cook. She didn't cook for him. She didn't clean.
She didn't clean. She didn't make any sandwiches. Come
Always had
on.
a shitty attitude,
Come on,
but she was pretty hot though.
Scully.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
what
X Files for me was weird because
Outsourcing.
what's that?
She can outsource. She makes enough money to outsource those things.
She's an FBI doctor. I don't think she was,
I don't
Oh,
think she was
she was
rolling
like,
it though. Yeah.
rolling it. Yeah, but
She was just too busy with work.
She got
Yeah.
a private practice. Maybe she could have afforded all those things for
She
her
can
man.
practice on my private.
Oh, that sounds like that would have
Always
been a great
spotlight,
little
ladies and
offshoot
gentlemen.
right there. Fucking, what is it? Dr. Scully, private practice. What can I do for you today?
I always loved X Files when it was kind of about like the aliens and the government conspiracy, because it was just all about covering it up, which
Right.
if they did know, they would cover it up because people aren't ready to know that kind of stuff yet. But then they would always do mix episodes in where it was just nothing. It was
Like fillers, yeah.
yeah, like I'm stuck in the Brady Bunch house. Like, come on, that I
A
really
lot of those are pretty enjoyable too, man.
yeah, I didn't really like the whole Twilight Zone episodes. I liked the ones where the smoking man, right?
Oh, the smoking, yeah, for sure. Well, look, in the final season, speaking of fillers, this is a super filler, but I kind of liked it because it kind of spoke to our technology dependency right now. But I think it's season 10 or 10.5 or whatever you want to call it. They
11.
go to, what is it? 11?
11.
11. They go to a restaurant, and both of them, I think Fox Mulder texted her, called her, hey, I'm hungry. You want to go grab a bite or whatever? They go to the restaurant. They meet up at a restaurant. Okay. It's a robot. It's all robots. They serve you. It pops up like whatever. You get the food. You eat the food. They're eating the food. Okay, great. When it's time to pay, he gets his credit card and he goes, here you go. And since it's robots, he decided not to tip the robots. He just said, it's like, $32.
Alien interference. Do you hear that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
it was
think we're being-
$32.
Yeah.
I think it stopped. It was so let's say it was $32, right? So he paid it. No tip. Okay. As soon as they're ready to get up, the door's locked. The robots started like attacking them. And to make a long story short, I don't know, Moman, did you see this episode?
I do vaguely recall, but before you continue, I just want to say if there are any X Files heads out there was season 10 continued in comic book form.
Oh, there we go.
So if you guys want to get your hands on that, that's like classic X Files before the other reboot that came out shortly after.
Yeah,
Continue.
if you can't get to your local comic book store, you can do a Comixology app on your phone and on your Kindle and all that stuff and iPad. But he didn't leave a tip. Okay, great. They started getting attacked by these robots in the restaurant. The doors are locked. Everything. Finally, at the very last 2 minutes of the episode,
He's like,
he
fuck it,
goes-
I'll tip.
Yeah, he goes, I'll tip. As soon as he tips, the doors unlock, everything's cool and everything. So as soon as so I thought it was so clever, but it was one of the fillers.
Yeah.
But going back to Scully, maybe she likes it. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know what you're about to say there.
Never mind. I'll stop it right there. But yeah.
Pouty. She was very pouty. Is that?
She was pouty.
Yeah.
But okay, speaking of, let's. How about this? There are so many outer space movies, right? Outer space, out in space, and everything. Well, what about The Abyss, underwater? Do you guys ever watch that one?
Love that movie.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, that was with Ed Harris and Mary
Michael
Elizabeth
Biehn?
Mastrantonio or something.
Yeah,
Michael Biehn plays the soldier that goes nuts, the Navy SEAL that.
Yeah. James Cameron directed. Shout out to Michael Bean's son, Kalen Bean, friend of the show over here.
Come on, Kalen.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
sorry to cut you off, but I have always thought that they would be chilling underwater because there's only so far that humans could dive before the pressure would just crush everybody. So if there are, like it is intelligent life that has like technology capabilities that we don't know of that could, withstand being underwater for X amount of time. I mean, come on, underwater is the perfect hiding spot, man.
That makes sense.
They're down there, man. They're down there.
Well, if going back to this recently, I was reading an article where it says that leaked U.S. Navy video shows UFO flying in California and then suddenly diving underwater. Apparently some of this stuff has been going on for a while. So the footage shows some spherical object flying and darting kind of back and forth above the water for several minutes before descending into the ocean. There was no wreckage or evidence of the object being recovered from the water. And then the reports, it was reported that the Department of Defense confirmed that the video was recorded by the Navy and is set to be reviewed by the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. Wow. Say that like 5 times fast.
UAP.
Long story
underwater,
short,
man.
I'm thinking that if they can travel throughout the universe, they could probably, waterproof their ships. So this is not, probably something they've got covered.
No car washes in space, so you gotta, watch it somehow.
So other movies. So I had Aliens was one of my first, like when it got me really into the genre. But I saw the second one first.
Another Michael Biehn movie.
Great cast with Michael Biehn was in there. Bill Paxton.
Oh yeah,
fucking
game
awesome.
over, man.
That was the
game over, man.
He was so entertaining in that. Paul Reiser Reiser.
Paul Reiser, yeah.
Sigourney Weaver's underwear. Just great performance.
Her little butt crack should have
great performance.
Deserved
by her
it.
underwear.
Yeah.
But then I watched Alien, the first one, and I don't know, it was kind of dark. It was like, older, so that I don't think the technology was as good as far as movie making, producing, and all that. So
I want to say it was a Tony Scott movie. It's one of the Scott brothers, I think. Alien.
I'm not sure.
Alien. They're both different. Alien, like you said, right, Chris? It's kind of slow, dark, a little more
slower, darker,
suspenseful. Yeah. And then Aliens, it's more like, action, big guys, big guns,
higher tech.
All that stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite Alien movies that I'd be upset if I didn't mention was the movie Signs with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Oh, right? One of the another enjoyable one.
Yeah. So
that M. Night Shyamalan.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. He was actually in it. He was in it. So
he's in all his movies. He has to wedge himself in them.
He did pretty good in that. I think that was. I don't know if
that was his more enjoyable one of his more enjoyable films from.
Yeah, he plays a doctor. It was like a kind of cameo. He plays a doctor.
Yeah. Right. So it was Mel Gibson and I think
Joaquin Phoenix.
It's technically an alien movie, but I think what I liked about it was, and I always like this about like these like alien movies is more like the human reaction to it.
Yeah,
like the human, not so much the aliens or whatever, but like the human and how it changes, how humans react. And so, and that was a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend it because it is an alien movie. But the Mel Gibson plays a priest. and it kind of goes with I have a belief that everything happens for a reason. Like in life, everything happens for a reason, even the worst things you can imagine. So in the beginning, I think his wife is killed in a horrible car crash, and she says something, nonsensical, seemingly nonsensical to him at the time, right before she passes, and that causes him as a priest to lose his faith. But then the nonsense that there's these last words that she had for him before she passed, like kind of come back at the end of the movie. And
wasn't it swing away or something like that?
Yeah, tell whatever the brother's name is, tell Lewis to swing away, and that's what saves it. So it's a kind of and then that kind of the end of the movie is him kind of becoming a priest again or whatever. But and then it had as B Frank pointed out today, has a pretty it had just the right amount of scary. I don't like scary movies, but it had just the great scene where people first see there's a scene of Joaquin Phoenix in the closet watching the television, and when they see this alien like turn down an alley or something like that. It's pretty that's a great movie.
Hey, Chris, real quick, if I can, I was working at work. So this lady, older lady, she was telling me, she goes, this was around the time a few years later. She said, hey, I was watching the news, and these kids in Brazil, they were having a birthday party, and then they're filming like on a camcorder, and then they see this like alien walking across the party, and these kids were freaking out. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're thinking of. So I didn't even tell her. She's thinking of Signs, the movie. I was like, oh really? Yeah. Oh seriously? Yeah.
Because in the movie, it was like footage from CNN showing footage.
And it kind of looked real.
Yeah. That'd be the worst time to like flip on a TV and it's like playing like that 30-second clip from the movie.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, jump under the bed.
Oh yeah. And
I really love that movie for that reason. So
I think Joaquin Phoenix, literally him and his nephew and niece, I think in the movie, they literally had the tinfoil hats in the movie.
That was
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? Any other movies that you like, Chris?
Oh, well, Manny mentioned Stargate. That was on my list. That was really entertaining. Contact was good with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. Again, that was, you don't really.
Oh, yeah.
I actually saw that one in the theater.
Yeah, that was a great movie because, again, it was more about the human experience and, government, human, military reaction, world reaction to this, and like building the ship or whatever they called it. But yeah, you don't really, I guess you do technically see an alien at the very end, but it's in like the form of her dad or something like that. But it's a good movie. It's kind of long, but I've seen that many times. But I don't know, Robbie, you have one more before we move on to the news? I think Jane's got a couple stories before we wrap up for the night.
I mean, I've got a whole bunch. I don't know if
your favorites. Give us your favorites, damn it.
I said one.
Well, I think Mo Man mentioned obviously Alien's one of my favorite movies, and I don't know if did you mention Predator? That was an alien movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Like I said, big guns, big guys, big aliens, big explosions, and the Predator comes to Earth to basically hunt. Yeah, it's just trophies, and that's what he does. And he hunts for trophies. And then, of course, came the sequels and all the many sequels. And it's just a whole bunch. And I can't think of any other ones, to be honest with you. There's so many.
There are so many.
Wait, I got to give Rob a recommendations because I know you're a Star Wars fan.
Mhm.
John Boyega, who eventually was cast in the Star Wars movie, one of his earlier films was called Attack the Block. It's an English flick.
I feel like I've seen it. Yeah.
If you haven't, you should check it out. Anybody listening or watching, it's a fun movie where a bunch of young adults fend for themselves against a ship that crashes in their project.
It was a fun movie. Well, real quick, one of my favorite movies, John Carpenter, They Live. And there's some social commentary on there. There's aliens that have already invaded basically Earth, but they look just like us. Well, they look like regular humans, but somehow I think they find like a box of shades, like sunglasses. They put them on.
special.
Yeah, they put them on, and they see the subliminal, signs.
Holy
all
shit, man!
Yeah, there we go. There we go. And then it
Too soon.
says,
Too soon.
yeah, consume, buy this, buy that.
Those are
And,
some pretty shitty aliens, though, to make it that easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, really?
We weren't even trying. Maybe that was more
Yeah.
commentary against us. Is like we're that stupid.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's the
little
the
cheesy.
movie's about
Those are
consumerism.
Rowdy Piper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Rowdy Piper was saying when he was like, I really like this movie, the script, because it's about consumerism.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. It's just a good fight scene. And lastly, another John Carpenter movie is The Thing, the remake with Kurt Russell, one of my favorite movies. If you guys haven't seen it,
Was that yeah, I guess that
It's-
was the remake, but didn't they do another?
they did another one called The Thing as well. That is a remake to the remake. Oh no, sorry, a prequel to the remake.
Okay. Yeah,
With,
that was a great movie. I remember seeing that. Yeah. That was
Yeah,
that was good.
the movie is basically there. I think they're in Antarctica, the original movie,
Yeah.
and there's
An
a
outpost.
outpost. There's an alien that sort of can
Again, shitty aliens that crash their ship in the North Pole and are frozen. And then when we have to stumble upon them and thaw them out, that's
yeah.
come on.
It's
Like,
gonna happen, man.
do better.
You
Like-
say, "Come on now, watch," but
Like you went all across the universe, and as Jane was saying, the probability is so low, and then you just crash and you're frozen for fucking millennia
Yeah.
until Kurt Russell stumbles upon you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, that was an awesome movie. John Carpenter is very well known for his music, his the score, the suspense, and it's awesome. And a special mention, last movie is Starship Troopers. It's basically a kind of fun, campy movie. It's pew pew, and it's the
Giant
future.
bugs. Yeah.
These big bugs, aliens. It's awesome. If you want to see some hot Denise Richards in there, you'll see her. It's all good.
All right. You got any more last ones and
I
last
think that's
special mentions?
That's it. That was my last
Honorable
special mention.
mentions. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I
I think that's a.
got
Oh,
7
sorry.
more. Yeah.
I can go
Okay.
on and on and on. Just
I
check
know,
me
I
out on
know.
Instagram and Facebook.
Well, I like that we
talk.
covered some more cerebral alien movies tonight, and yeah, I mean, didn't get to like Star Wars, that kind of like fantasy stuff, which I love, but it's like
Well, those
I
are
like-
like the obvious ones. And if you real quick, Jane.
real quick.
Well, Jane, have you seen Interstellar?
No.
No.
You
Okay.
should watch that.
That might be a little.
Those aren't aliens.
It's not aliens, but there's kind of wormhole and time travel, etc.
That's us in the future.
That could be us. And then Arrival, like I said, Arrival could be a good movie for Jane, possibly, because it deals with communication and between humans and aliens. So I don't know. It could be a good movie for Jane.
I
All
own
right.
that. I've fallen asleep to that many times, but I do
Yes.
like it. I like the movie. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of melancholy.
It's more on the cerebral, side, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Into it.
that is a good movie though. So, all right. So, switching gears, we got a little time left. We did start a little late tonight. So, Jane, you gotta.
I do.
Yeah.
So
What's
out
going
of
on?
the-
What's going on in the real world?
Yeah. So according to the BBC, guys, this might be in your favor from what we were discussing earlier. We may have contaminated Mars with life. So because humanity, we've sent about 30 spacecraft and landers to Mars since the space age began. And now we're starting to learn which microbes might have survived the trip. So this most recently, we sent a car-sized rover that touched down on Mars on February 18th. And included on board is a machine that has turned thin carbon dioxide-rich Martian air into oxygen, and a helicopter the size of a tissue box that made the first ever powered controlled flight on another planet. And it's And they've done 3 successful flights for this, and each one is longer and higher than the last. But now what they're wondering is, did anything else come along for the ride? And could trace bacterium or spore from Earth have accidentally been carried into space and survived the trip to Mars? So NASA and the engineers at Jet Propulsion Labs, which I think is up close to Manny, right? Isn't that up by you?
Few minute drive away from me. Yes.
Yeah. So they have very, very precise protocols about minimizing the number of organisms that might inadvertently put the hitchhike on a space mission. So there's like these internationally agreed standards, guide on how rigorous these protocols should be, and NASA meets and in some cases exceeds them. But 2 recent studies are showing how some organisms might be surviving these trips in the cleaning process, and how they might have been like planted on Mars. So, first of all, I don't know why they care so much for one thing. Like, why are they putting a lot of time and resources into these standards? I didn't get any answers there, but
Into what? Into going to Mars in the first place, or these
no,
standards?
it's like, why are there such strict protocols about preventing bacterium and earth substances?
Well, I think
Mars.
they're trying to find out if there is any life like bacteria, all that stuff on Mars. So, I mean, they have to be pretty careful that they're not finding like, Rick's spittle or something, like the guy that packed up the rover, like, dropped a hair or something, or sneezed on the rover or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's basically impossible to get to zero earthly biomass on a spacecraft. So now they're starting to look at, what is surviving. So hey, you guys, now that stuff's sitting there and it's going, wait a billion years and you'll have your life.
As long as they don't send Monica Lewinsky's old dress, we don't want that biomass over there on Mars. That we can prevent. Yeah. Probably
managed to keep that dress away.
It's probably in this Smithsonian, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because like there's bacteria that live in like the underneath glaciers where you think nothing could survive, or like underwater where there's like volcanic activity and there's 1,000-degree water. There's like bacteria that feed off of other things that are coming out of those plumes or whatever you'd call them. So yeah, it'd be pretty difficult to send a purely clean object to Mars, I guess. I don't know. Have they found ice on Mars? Is that like, I don't know if I'm imagining that. I think they have. Like, there is ice on Mars. So therefore water, but
yeah.
Remember, they say that also, speaking of like water and stuff, they say that they've explored more of space, outer space, than our own oceans. We don't know what's here on Earth many times, like underwater. I know there's a lot of pressure. If you send ships or machinery down there, there's all the pressure will just, whatever. But we don't know what's down there either, right?
I don't know about, I guess it's kind of easier to scan space than it is to like send something way down to I don't know. I was actually ready for you to tell a Uranus joke or something and be like, what?
Slow hanging fruit.
I thought that's what you were setting up for.
Don't worry, I'll think of something. Yeah.
All right.
Next story, Jane.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right. That was your good news, guys. We're gonna get some life on Mars for you to point to. So the next story is out of on a Southwest flight from Sacramento to San Diego. There's footage of a passenger that punched a flight attendant to the point that she lost teeth and was bleeding and had to be taken to the hospital once the flight landed. I'm going to share my screen.
Was it a woman passenger that punched a female flight attendant?
Chick on chick, white chick, 2 blonde chicks. And then watch, you'll see a black man comes in to intervene and just be like, calm down, bitches.
Yeah, he did.
So, oh, wait, hold on.
So it's
They
a
got
white chick on
blacked.
white chick crime. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
I don't know, man.
Altitude go.
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm like having to sit through this.
A lot of airplane
internet
violence
is-
lately.
Maybe
There's been
someone
a
else-
lot of airplane violence lately. I'm not
Yeah,
happy
so
about that.
There's like an increase in reports of unruly passengers. But what's interesting is
See what it's about with 4 times on dine-in and takeout.
The
And
woman
get
who-
more with 2 times on streaming services and at gas stations in the grocery store.
she had some interesting commentary that kind of goes
Oh, car.
against what you see.
Oh,
You hear that punch, man?
damn.
Sit down! Don't you dare! Don't you dare touch me! Don't you dare touch a flight attendant like that! Sit
You came out her first.
Sit the fuck
She
down!
came out her first.
Sit the fuck down!
That black guy better be careful. He's going to be walking out of there in cuffs.
Sit down! Sit down!
All right. And then down here, I think they got there was supposed to be a reporter that had the story. Here, let's see if this is it.
Well, I'm glad that guy
The
intervened.
woman who took the video, they had her being interviewed, and she was like, the flight attendant actually provoked it, because you could hear the passenger saying, "Oh, keep your hands off me, get off of me, stop touching me." So, and she was repeatedly saying this. So it sounded, and the woman being interviewed was, I thought, very reasonable and sober. Let's see if this is it. I'm sorry, guys. I thought it was all in the same.
Well, I heard that. I was reading that. I guess she didn't want to put up the. There we go.
San Diego is just one of thousands of recent incidents that have the FAA taking action against unruly passengers. Our Misha DeBono is live for us tonight at the airport with what that means for travelers as we head into a busy Memorial Day weekend. Misha.
Yeah, Andrew,
No.
good evening.
They're going to put in a new rule where you're not allowed to punch flight attendants.
Well, it's supposed to be, I think, a federal offense, right? If you attack a.
I think
Airline employee.
I think it's a crime whether it's federal or the state you're in.
Well,
like it's
yeah.
a crime either way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we need to make it a federal offense. Like, I think we have got laws on the.
I don't know.
books for
What
punching
do you guys
people in
think?
the
I
face.
think these ticket flight prices are getting cheaper and cheaper. So it's like, dude, are we not paying for like flights like with our EBT cards or something? Is that what's going on?
No,
Is-
Rob.
No, because it's like anybody's getting on now. I'm sorry.
Well, I think
It
it's
is-
I think it's just part of our culture in general that people are just angry. And it just COVID has accelerated it. And then also like we've given this weird power to flight attendants. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure like I don't know what kind of training they go. I don't know what kind of training they go through that makes them like officers of the law, where they have like incredible power over, wrecking your life. Kicking you off flights, deciding that you're being
Yeah,
unruly. So,
Well,
what's that?
yeah, I don't know. I agree. I mean, they shouldn't have all the power in the world, but obviously, I want to go ahead and put it on the record. I am against violence towards flight attendants. You guys hear me? Airlines.
Yeah.
What about violence against passengers?
Passenger. Oh, I'm down with that.
I'm
Oh,
down with
okay.
treat people and your customers in a way where they don't feel like punching you in the face. There's a,
Yeah.
just rules of customer service. I think it's on a poster somewhere, like a customer service poster. Like,
Yeah.
don't antagonize your customers. I was on a flight back from Daytona and I was like, I fell asleep and I woke up and I saw the flight attendant, who was a very large black woman, like she was giving someone a water. So I was like, oh, and I was like, Miss, can I get a water? And she looked at me like her eyes got really big. I thought she was going to attack me. And then she like stood back in the aisle and put her hands up, and she's like, "Does anybody else want a water?" I guess, she was getting tired of having to bring people water, like, because I missed the falling asleep and missed the drink service or whatever, if they even do that. I don't know if they do that. They didn't do it on the way there. But it's like, what do we even need flight attendants for other than just the safety thing? And they have videos for that too. Like, if you're not going to serve drinks, like, what do we need you for?
There's requirements for what the ratio is. Like, you have to have one flight attendant for every so many passengers, but they don't do anything now. So maybe they can change that number, because they're just sitting in the back and powwow with each other. They don't do anything. Like, I think I told that story like a few weeks ago where I like had pushed the call button, waited 5 minutes, and was like eyeing them down the aisle, and they weren't coming.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do anything anymore. They're
Yeah,
like
they could be
teachers.
friendlier. Like, most are not friendly. Like, I don't need you to tell jokes like they used to do on Southwest flights. I mean, you can spare me that bullshit, but at least be a little bit friendly, put a smile on, for crying out loud, if you're going to do, serve your customers. Other than that.
Yeah. They're not even hot anymore. They used to be hot. What happened there?
I saw a few hot ones when I was on the Oklahoma flight to and from. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Was I? I think I was on that flight. Shoot.
No.
Damn. No?
Okay. Hey, Robbie,
Oh, on the connecting flight. Yeah, on the connecting flight too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I stand corrected.
Not hot. Do you just mean old, Robbie?
No, I like, hey, some older ones are not bad.
I could see them if they're young. If they are young, there's no way you don't find them hot.
They could be talking about the same flight attendants, because Manny's into the MILFs. And Rob's like, that.
Not strictly into the
that chick is too old, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll appreciate beauty as long as it's at a legal age.
As long as
I
it
guess.
buys you shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Her, not it. Come on.
Yeah. They, them. I don't know. You never know. Don't be.
In fairness to flight attendants, though, like air travel is becoming more and more degrading, to humans. As far
taking
as,
our
like,
shoes off.
They keep making, like, you get put through the ringer. Well, it is like there's a flipping point where TSA agents are now becoming friendlier than the actual flight attendants, and it used to be way the other way around, right? Anyway, but like the what you have to go through before you get on an airplane, they're making the seats smaller and smaller. Now with the COVID, that's just giving them an excuse to not give you anything other than a baggie with a, like some hand sanitizer and some dry pretzels and not even a full bottle of water, like a mini bottle. Bunch of attitude. It's like, it's becoming degrading to fly. So maybe it is, like you were saying, maybe it's too cheap, or
you know what the solution to that is, right?
What is it?
Get yourself a private jet.
Oh yeah.
Fly Garrigus Air.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've seen movies, and if you're on a private jet, all the flight attendants are basically escorts.
Oh yeah, there's
like
a pole.
Like
there's
they're
a
like
pole in there.
high class escorts. I've seen movies.
There's a strip pole.
And you got a Michelin star rated chef at your beck and call at the plane too. So come on now.
I've seen The Wolf of Wall Street. We know how it is on the private jets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other stories, Jane, or is that
air travel's rough?
Good news and bad news. We want the aliens to now I'm like, okay, let's let the aliens take over, and maybe they'll be less rude.
Yeah, maybe they'll revolutionize traveling for us. We don't know.
Aliens are like, these dumbasses are just doing it to themselves. These dumbasses are just destroying themselves. So we can just sit back and watch. They're probably like eating popcorn.
China already picked up on that. Why couldn't aliens?
Yeah. Just sit back and watch us destroy ourselves, like like women punching women on airplanes now.
And then just claim our planet. Be like, oh, beautiful.
The interview I had it. I don't know where it went on this website. Like, they took it down, but this woman was seriously like, no, the flight attendant was like provoking it. I was shocked. Like, you would never get that out of that video, but
yeah, but I would still call for no violence when provoked, especially in the plane, unless she punches me. Then if she punches me, I'll definitely protect myself.
Right. I mean, one thing I can say, like they've been saying that airlines are reporting more of these unruly
Yeah.
incidents. And I think it is the pandemic, because I feel myself when I'm more on edge and I could go to the grocery store and I get the freaking basket that's drowning in hand sanitizer. I'm just livid. I go and I'm like, give me one that's dirty. What is it? This is so stupid. Like, I've been vocal and confrontational,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, if I'm in a situation like outdoors with masks and like getting Karen or something, like I'm more on edge and I'm more willing to fight back. So if I've gone that step up, I'm sure other people have too. And like, I don't go over the edge. Like, in
You're not
this
about to punch somebody.
but there are
Yeah.
enough people that aren't being taken over the edge. So it makes sense that we get more reports of this.
I think it was already going up just because that's the way our society is going. But COVID
Okay.
for sure accelerated it a lot, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
sure it wasn't on the way down and then all of a sudden COVID hit. Like, that's just going up because it's people feel like they're less in control. They don't, you get on an airplane and it's like you're doing them like they're doing you a favor. Like, you're not a customer. They're doing you a favor by allowing you to give them money to be on their airplane and get shitty service. And it's
Well, and you're
it's all
afraid
flipped upside down.
to speak up, like even when you're going through TSA. Even though I've gotten into a verbal argument with the TSA at the scanner, but I kind of calmed down because I said, these people, if they really wanted to, they can just pull me aside, make me miss my freaking flight. So you just can't. Yeah. So they know they've got some power over you.
Yeah, is one thing, but when you're on the plane, I mean, it would take a lot to turn that flight around. So you have more, I feel like you have a little more room to make a scene.
More
Well, I know
wow.
the pilot's like, don't make me turn this plane around.
They don't turn it. They just make it so that you can't fly again.
You can be verbally confrontational in the air and you'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You'll be fine for the flight.
You'll be fine for the flight. Yeah. You just won't be able to fly that airline ever again.
I don't know. Sometimes if that flight attendant was really provoking her the way that the woman who took the footage said, then sometimes you gotta stand up to stuff. I don't know.
Just not break her teeth.
I don't know. I really don't have a problem with it because like, I don't know, when like the story you described, it does sound like, and it's not a stretch of the imagination to think that a flight attendant could be kind of a bitch, and treat customer, like that's just, treat a customer like again, like you're doing them a favor by having them on, taking their money. So it doesn't really surprise me. And I'm kind of all for people in authority, like being a little bit worried. Maybe you should go into this job of yours worrying a little bit more about your customers not smacking you in the face. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not advocating for violence. I'm saying don't be a bitch. Or don't be a dick. And you greatly reduce the chances of getting punched in the mouth. That's all. Great chances go way down.
True. We just have to watch it. There was this fast food worker, I think a few weeks ago, black kid, that I think he was a drive-through. This white man, I guess, did not like the service, and
that was Dunkin' Donuts, man.
Was it Dunkin' Donuts?
It was in the store, or he came in the store.
Came around. He came inside, exactly. And per the employee, he said he called me the N-word. He called him the N-word. Well, the kid, African American kid, just gave him a punch in the, because he said, say it again. Apparently, allegedly, say it again. The guy said it again. The employee punched him in the face. What happened? The old white man died. So now he's in prison. So I've been called a couple racist things here and there, but I know when to punch and when to, I don't know, when to take certain actions. We'll just say that.
kind of like dying from COVID when you're obese, diabetic, have heart disease, and yada yada, right? Like a punch took out this guy. Like he was
Oh,
just
yeah.
old.
That
ready
young
to
guy
go.
is, well, I think he punched him, knocked him out. And, you know, as Adam Carolla would say, like when you go out, you hit the ground head first, right? Your arms
Oh.
don't go out to catch yourself. That doesn't work
Yeah.
if you're out cold. So killed the guy. So I'm just like, I can understand it from both points. It's like, hey man, don't run your mouth and talk shit like that, whether you use the N word or whether you call some lady a dumb C word or whatever. Like you watch your mouth because you might get smacked. But then again, at the same time, sticks and stones. If you're going to retaliate in a violent way, there will also be consequences. So that young guy is probably going to do some prison time and has
sure.
murder, has the death of someone else on their hands. So it's
Yeah.
like that dickhead, real piece of shit. Remember Toure, whatever his name is. He was an MTV disc jockey.
Oh yeah,
a VJ. Yeah, he was on the tweets basically saying, you run your mouth and this is what happens. And like once this guy doesn't even think this guy should be charged. Like,
yeah.
he was within his rights
Nah.
because that was violence. He was committing violence by calling the guy
Verbal.
the N-word.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he just calls it violence. Yeah, he was going on these tweets about that. It's just like that's insane. Insane.
So silence is violence.
Don't run your
and-
mouth. You
yeah.
might get punched.
Yeah.
But if you punch somebody, you might kill them and you're going to do time. Like,
Well, yeah.
that's how shit goes. It's not
Just be-
black and white.
Yeah.
So,
Be ready for it.
Who was the employee in the situation?
a young black guy, I don't know. I think that's how he's described. Like, and I think it was a Dunkin'
The black
Donuts.
kid was the employee and the white guy was the.
Yeah, an old white guy, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Set in his ways.
I'm just gonna kind of feel bad if he was like an old white guy working at a Dunkin' Donuts.
That's the way it was described. Yeah, that it was the old white guy customer. And it's like, yeah, don't you run your mouth like that, you might get killed. But if you decide to punch someone in the face for words, then you might kill somebody, you might go to jail. So it's like, I'm kind of, yeah. So old man, you don't start none, you won't be none or whatever. And the guy that decided that it was within his rights to, punch the guy for words, well, then he's going to pay the price as well. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunate all around.
It is. But this whole idea, like Toure had this idea that this was not a crime, like this, like he was within his rights. Like it was as if the old man had pulled a gun on him, was trying to shoot him or something. So he was within his rights to kill the guy. So,
well, it looks like it was in Florida. Elderly man dies after being punched. I know, in Dunkin' Donuts over racial slur confrontation. A Dunkin' Donuts employee faces a manslaughter charge after punching an elderly customer who later died. The employee became physical after the older man called.
Oh, Robbie just got
censored. Yeah, I know. The guy's name, I guess I don't know. He could be a Hispanic, one of those, I guess, like Afro-Cuban or Afro-Latinos. Corey Pujols, 27. So he's not really a kid. Was working at a Dunkin' Donuts when on the May 4th incident occurred. According to the police, 77-year-old man was in his car at the drive-thru and allegedly became upset about the service. So that's when he came around and, said the words, and he said, don't, say it again. He said it again, extremely rude, and called Pujols a racial slur, who was black, it says the article, and told police he asked the man to repeat what he said, and the man again said the same slur. The specific slur was not included in the police report. So the Pujols, the alleged attacker, said that he then punched the man once in the face, which knocked him out and caused him to hit his head on the floor. And that's what he was unconscious and bleeding from the head, and he was taken to the hospital. 2 days later, he passed away. So, yeah.
Would you want to read the credits to that story?
Absolutely. Yeah. Who wrote it? Who published it?
Well, yeah.
So
I
anyways,
I really don't feel sorry for anybody in that situation, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah. Like Chris says, you want to react? Great. Just know that you're going to face some consequences to that.
Yeah, you might kill somebody. So
You might get punched in the face, right? And then if you punch them in the face, then they might fall down and die. Who knows? I don't know.
true. Yep.
Yeah. But
All right. Well, what an uplifting way to end our show.
Our UFO show of all things, right? Shit.
Yeah.
We're all over the place today.
well, real quick, UFOs. If you
Real
were
quick.
in a jet, in one of those fighter jets, if you saw a UFO, would you try and shoot one down?
No.
No, knowing that you can start like World War, 5, Galaxy War. No?
No.
You don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Why
Eh,
would
you
wanna-
want to find out what it is.
Get you.
Yeah.
You're such an American, Rob. Let's find out what it is by shooting at it.
I feel like I think you would. I mean, like, let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's going to disappear. What if,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a chance you could start World War, like Galaxy War 1, or you could be a hero like Will Smith.
Yeah. Or you can shoot down Balloon Boy or something, but I don't know.
Balloon Boy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's right. That's awesome.
Anyway,
Balloon
I might
Boy.
do it.
Oh, Balloon Boy. Yeah, that was another great example how dumb we are.
Yeah, man. I love
Okay. Yeah.
how
Probably
wrap it
another
up.
Florida story. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks
right.
for hanging in with us. Well, I guess, do we have any shout outs? Anybody that's hung on this long and listening to us ramble?
Jeff Lee is hanging on. Hey, Jeff.
Okay. All right.
Shout out
Thanks
to Mr.
for,
Lee.
yeah,
We're
thanks for
back
hanging,
then.
Jeff.
Thank you.
Quana,
Always is.
what up, Chief?
What are-
B Frank.
Frank.
Yeah.
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out.
See, yeah, that's why Ace always had, yeah. So family of three, yeah. No better time to always have a fuck off, an F bomb, like a fuck off, fuck you chambered at all times in this day and age.
Yeah.
Because everybody seems to have, want to tell you what's up. What else? Oh, Biss, yeah. Stussy, Star Fox, hell yeah. Oh, Star Fox. Oh, yeah, Star Fox, the video game.
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Battle Los Angeles. That was pretty good with Aaron Eckhart. That was a good movie. Yeah, I've only seen that a couple times. It doesn't really make the rotation, but good.
Well, it's
movie.
based on actual events as well, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. Thanks everybody for hanging in there. Yeah. Until next time, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Say, get it on.
Get it on.
Get it on.
Get it on, everybody.
Sorry, I saw like some message pop up. That was Robbie.
Oh, was it me?
Yeah, they're just your thanks. Thanks
Oh.
to Bruin Backhand. Yeah. Yeah. Minimal necessary force for defense. Adjust. Yeah. 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 I don't know. Like, yeah. That probably happens. I think that's happened at like little league games where there's like a fight, like a kid's football game. There's a fight and like a parent punches the referee and winds up killing the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
All bad.
Like maybe just punch people in the stomach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you could have just
Or like
punched that,
punch
that
their
old man in the
rib.
stomach.
Or in the balls.
Yeah, like kick somebody in the nuts, or that's
Right,
how.
man.
But that is how Houdini died, isn't
Get
it?
on.
Oh, yeah, in the stomach. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
He wasn't ready.
What was that? Oh, someone had their YouTube playing or something.
What was what?
Heard a
You
3,
heard a
2,
3,
1.
2, 1.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's the recording here. Check it
Beginning.
out.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Beep, beep, boop. Welcome to episode 67 of your Endless Ranters podcast. My name is Chris, but I'm just one.
Yeah, I recorded it directly, so I don't have to wait for the Zoom recording to be finished. That way I could just edit this faster.
Cool. Jane, your
Alright.
audio was like kind of crapping out towards the end. During your news stories, your audio was like.
All right,
Um,
Manny, you're gonna help me this weekend, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, don't worry, I got you.
Can you bring my computer too?
Oh yeah, that's what the other plan was, to bring the other one with me.
Yeah.
Then Houdini died because he got punched in the stomach. Isn't that
Well,
how
he-
Houdini died?
Correct.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was not ready. He was always challenging people. Hey, hit me in the stomach. Hit me in the stomach. And he can take the biggest, punch. And I guess he did not prep for this punch. And he got punched. A couple days later, he felt pain and he died eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. What a
Yeah.
pussy.
I know. I used to do
like
that back in middle
you
school.
could punch the old man in the arm really hard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a froggy. So they call it froggy, like you did to your friends back in middle school.
Yeah.
And every time he calls you in, we're just punch him again in the arm. He's going to leave a nasty bruise. He'll never forget.
See.
But that's
Yeah.
what that Toure guy was saying online. Was saying that, basically that was a hate crime and that was violence. Him calling him that name. So
I've been called names. I've been treated kind of whatever, and I just kind of like, okay, whatever. If I don't have to deal with it, like I've called this. I was walking by the not too far from my house, and this like kind of crazy looking, maybe homeless guy with the dog said something like, "Oh, freaking wetbacks or whatever." I kind of looked, and I don't know if he looked like he was talking to me, and you know what I did? I kept on walking. So it's like okay, that's it. It's like come on. So there, done. Problem solved.
yeah, go home and kick your dog or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, thanks for everybody for joining us. Whoever's still on.
We still got 8 people. I feel like every time we sign off, we stop recording, we end up with like 1 or 2 more viewers on YouTube.
That's pretty
Big sign on.
Our boy Jeffrey showed up a little late. He'll catch up.
Yeah. Hey, if you're on YouTube, so we can give you a shout out. If you don't say anything, we don't know you're here.
I closed that window down.
Oh yeah, Mindy. I'm sure Mindy was on, but she was just not connected or commenting.
Mindy usually says hi though, and she has not said hi, so I imagine she's not on.
What up, Mindy? Shout out. Slide into the YouTube DMs. Just kidding.
So who do we think? Do we think Bruin Backhand is who's the guy that's Frank Trackman?
Oh
Is that our
man.
I don't think so, because wasn't Bruin Backhand getting all lefty on us?
Oh really? I
Or something
forget.
else? Yeah,
I
forget
thought
too.
that was. We decided he wasn't. It didn't sound like Theo. He wasn't like Theo. That was when we thought he was Theo, but then we realized he couldn't be Theo.
Yeah.
I don't know if Frank Trackman really had a political leaning.
I think it's raining. Give me a moment.
Wait,
It's raining.
It's raining here? And also, is it also such a big deal? I know it's LA and never rains, but do you have to like get up and check when it's raining?
So it never rains for real? That's weird.
It's really rain is like a big deal here.
I thought it would. I thought it did. I'm just hearing shit. Never mind.
I don't think there's any rain.
Brightburn. Hard. I don't like it.
Back then, I don't think you're lefty.
Yeah, I don't know.
We started talking about he said I love Theo, and we were like, oh, only Theo would love Theo.
That's so funny. Oh, man.
And drinking more vodka and LaCroix. This is like my new thing.
Getting white girl wasted over there.
Well, I overdid it on red wine a month ago, and I just have not been able to go back to anything that's not clear.
Word. I feel that.
I'm looking at this Brightburn movie. I don't like the horror.
Dude.
I don't like the horror business.
No, you don't? Okay.
I'm telling
You're
you,
like
you should watch it. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Lee. I don't think Jeffrey likes is that like an Asian thing? Because he doesn't like horror either.
I don't like horror.
No.
No,
Okay.
the Asians, they make a lot of that fucked up horror stuff.
Yeah,
like
they do.
I've never seen it, but I know Manny has seen it. Have you seen Audition?
Bro, I watched that in high school. One of my teachers recommended it to me.
Yeah.
I went and I somehow got in because it was a rated R movie. I shouldn't have watched it. It's more of a like a psychological thriller than a horror, but still fucked up nonetheless.
Yeah, there's
I
something real
recommend it.
scary about the Asians when they get all like no. I'm looking at the thumbnails for that movie right now. No, that's a no.
It's
It's a no for me, dog.
it's yeah, Manny. It's the what is it? Brightburn, right?
Yeah,
there's a book called, I think it's called what, Red Sun comic book.
I have it actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, my friend let me borrow it, and I've been meaning to give it back to him, but he just hasn't come. He hasn't.
So Red Sun basically it's Superman's story. Mindy's here. What's up, Mindy?
What up,
We missed you. Great seeing you. Red Sun basically is Superman. Kal-El from Krypton. Instead of landing in Kansas, he lands in Soviet Union. This is when the time of Soviet Union happened. And instead of being raised by Martha and Jonathan Kent, he gets raised by these, Soviets. And instead of being good guy, he turns into a Soviet bad guy.
Yeah,
Basically, that's what Brightburn is about. He lands
not
in
officially.
not officially. He lands in a small town in the U.S., but he turns into a bad guy instead of being he's a kid. The movie, he starts off as a kid, like a couple of years old. And then you jump cuts to like, I don't know, 15 years old, and he's a bad guy. So yeah, it's basically the Superman story, but without being official.
What about Red Sun though? Was like an alternate Superman?
It's exactly alternate.
I don't see that bothers me. Like that bothers me. They just like make up different stories. Like they have 7 different Spider-Mans, like different origin stories. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's
Like-
all the multiverses. Well, for those who listen and watch Disney Plus, they're gonna have a new cartoon series based on the comic book series, the What If series, where they do these one-shot what if this happened and what if that happened. So that's kind of like alternate, but not official, kind of alternate. So
I do enjoy like the what if history. Like there was the Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime that kind of turned out to be a little bit too boring compared
really?
to like a great idea, but it was basically like what if the Axis Japan and Germany had won World War II. Like what would it be like, and what would America be like, and how would there be a rebellion? But it was just kind of turned out to be really too slow and boring. There's also a show on Apple TV Plus that's called the first. Oh, shoot! Now I'm drawing a blank. But it's basically like, what if the Russians had made it to space first?
Okay.
Oh,
And
I heard about that one. I can't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's really good. I think there's one more season coming out. There's been 2 or 3 seasons so far, but that's really, maybe there's only been 2 seasons, but that's really interesting. Like what if, because a lot of, like World War II, a lot of things like did have to go right for us to win. I mean, you can say we were always going to win, but there were some kind of pivotal points where, the war turned, and what if they didn't, So that's kind of interesting. But this whole like, what if Superman landed in the Soviet Union? What if he landed in Thailand? What if he landed in Australia? And Australia, and he's
What if he was an intergalactic polygamist?
Yeah. Yeah. What if he was trans? That's coming, I'm sure. Yeah. What if Superman was confused about his gender?
Well, the next movie, they want to do a black Superman next. Black director and black Superman. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with it. I don't really care anymore. I don't really care. Like, I don't know if I like at some point in my life I was like, come on. But I don't know. America's probably ready.
I don't know. I don't want to see it. Look, to me, it's slightly insulting. Let me get back to my right-wing nut side of myself. I don't want to see a Guatemalan Superman. I don't want to see a Guatemalan Batman.
Well, let's not get ridiculous. Come on.
Can't we make up, like, I would love to create my own superhero. Can we make, like, why do we have to piggyback off these, like American made? Like, I don't want to piggyback off these guys. Let's make our own. What about that?
I got to say, Rob, you're your own superhero. All right, guy?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You got
too,
it, buddy.
Can you play We're of the World now?
Yeah.
I don't have it already. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob, you're somebody's hero out there, man.
I can be your hero, baby.
Is that a song, or are you just making that up?
That's Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, okay. You're a little delivery's a little off, dog. A little pitchy.
I will take your breath away. Yeah.
Stop.
So Brightburn.
Could like do a little musical thing once I've got a piano now.
Oh, really? Ah. We should.
I
Do
also,
a recital. We could do a little. We'll do like a little jam session.
I also upgraded my my equipment over here so I could finally run the turntable audio and have everybody listening to some tunes the next time we have the happy hour. It's gonna be
Ooh.
fun, yeah.
That's cool. We found with Zoom that whoever's playing some music, or I think you've been on theirs with this many, like whoever's playing the music, their audio gets cut pretty badly. But
Yeah,
yeah, if you feel quiet, you could play some music.
absolutely.
I don't remember. I was wiped out for the last happy hour, so I wasn't on there for very long.
It's all good, man. I'm gonna balance. I'm gonna fucking make some food. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready for bed.
Tacos?
And
Maybe we'll see if I'm feeling feisty. I'll get some
I was
tacos.
totally stereotyping you.
I've been doing a
like
lot of
it.
breakfast tacos lately, so I mean, you're not far off the map. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're my
So
shit.
make some for us this weekend.
All right, yeah, as long as the ingredients are there, I'll gladly make some for y'all.
how far is
Yeah.
Manny from you, Jane?
It's like
You
20
say like
minutes.
40 minutes?
20, 30 minutes depending on traffic.
Yeah,
We've got a
Orange
little
County.
Airbnb thing going. But our Airbnb is in Venice. We're gonna go hang
Oh,
out.
it's in it's in Venice. Oh fuck, dude! I thought they got a different spot that was away from Venice.
I'm pretty sure the Airbnb is in Venice, like right by LAX.
I don't
Unless
know.
something changed. But
Uh,
no, I don't.
Brian told me that something changed, but I don't know if it's like if they changed to what you're talking to. I mean, what you're talking about now.
We got it. We got this like a month ago.
Oh, okay. Well, no, he told me recently, so maybe it did change. Where would we be
If he
staying?
told you recently, then it would not have changed since then.
All right, then never mind that. I just misunderstood you. All right. Either way,
You're saying you said recently orange. All right, sorry, we're like having our own conversation.
You'll be together somewhere.
yeah, right.
I think the plan is to hang out in Huntington, but the Airbnb by LAX.
Okay, that makes more sense then. But
Yeah.
either way, be seeing y'all in a few days. It's been a fun night podcasting with y'all, but gotta eat.
You too, man.
All right.
Enjoy.
Take it easy, y'all.
Take care, man.
Adios.
See ya.
Dude, I'm still at work, so I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna head out. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right, Robbie. Cheney,
All right.
talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.